My name is Mikael Moane. People usually just call me Michael. I am the lead CG technical artist at Cause & Effects. Cause & Effects is a small visual effects studio and we're based in Auckland, New Zealand. We usually work on episodic TV and feature films. We had a client approach us with an interesting project which is fairly different from what we usually do. This was to create content for a LED wall for virtual production. After going through the client requirements, we sat down and had sort of a brainstorm and briefing, and our first initial thought was that we were going to do this in Unreal Engine, just because of the amount of pixels that we had to render for this project and deliver. We did run into a fair bit of challenges with Unreal though, mainly just around sort of workflow and convenience because we mainly do all of our layouts in Houdini, and in order to be able to transfer that to Unreal, we did run into a fair bit of challenges. And we were getting closer and closer to the deadline, and eventually we just had to try something else. And that's when we decided to try to render it in Karma. Since we already worked on getting our pipeline up and going with Houdini 20.5, we decided to give it a go. We used Karma XPU's lens shader in order to be able to get the correct mapping for the LED wall. And then just because of Karma XPU speed, we're actually able to render these high resolutions in a reasonable amount of time. I would say the biggest sort of conveniences with Karma is because we're already in Solaris. It's super easy for us to just have renders running in the background and just do all of the work. We're able to use the lens shaders as we're moving the layouts around and just being able to sort of like work interactively while we're actually seeing the correct mapping and everything for the LED walls. One of the benefits as well of just staying in Houdini is that we still had access to all of the procedural tools and world building that we usually do, and being able to update the layouts and then just submitting it to the farm again without having to go through any extra steps was a big time saver for us. Sometimes with Redshift we basically hit a ceiling with the scale of the scenes that we could render, because with Redshift you're basically limited by the amount of VRAM on your GPU. With Karma XPU it seems to handle that really well. You can definitely push a lot of data and huge scale scenes onto it, and it seems to handle it really well. It does the offloading to CPU way better as well, so it always has that fallback, and we can basically always make sure that our scenes actually finish on the wall without having to fail and be re-queued all the time. The most exciting part about this project was when we did our first initial test on the wall. We queued a render on a Friday and we came back on a Monday. All the frames were complete in a surprising amount of time. The thing that gives me the most confidence in Karma XPU is the rapid development that it's had over just a couple of years. It's managed to catch up to Karma CPU features, and it's just been able to go through our regular pipeline without any issues.